Today we're going to be talking about subjunctive with conjunctions. Conjunction, junction, what's your function? Hopefully you remember that song. And also hopefully remember that conjunctions are basically used to connect two parts of a sentence. So it's like a bridge. And with the subjunctive, you normally have to have two clauses, which means you have two subjects and two verbs. So conjunctions are what connect those two clauses together. There's two types of conjunctions that can trigger the subjunctive, and the first ones are conjunctions of uncertainty, and they're called conjunctions of uncertainty because the second part of the sentence is uncertain or dependent on something else. So the acronym you can use to remember these is ESCAPA with two A's, because you all want to escapar del subjuntivo, and they stand for en caso de que, sin que, con tal de que, antes de que, para que, a fin de que, y a menos que. So, en caso de que means in case. Sin que means without. Sometimes it can also mean unless, but generally it means without. Con tal de que, as long as. Antes de que, before. Para que, so that. A fin de que, so that. They mean the same thing. And a menos que, unless. So you definitely want to memorize what these mean, because for the quiz part of this video, you're going to have to put these in the right place. So in case, without, as long as, before, so that, and unless. These always trigger the subjunctive no matter what. It doesn't matter past, present, future, whatever. It's always going to trigger the subjunctive if you ever see any of these conjunctions. So those ones are easy. The next group of conjunctions are a little more difficult because they don't always trigger the subjunctive. They're called conjunctions of time because they're based on time, obviously. So cuando means when, and cuanto, as soon as. Tan pronto como also means as soon as. Hasta que means until. And después de que means after. So these don't always trigger the subjunctive, and these don't have a K, so it's a little bit harder to recognize that it is a subjunctive trigger. And how you know is if you have a conjunction of time, so you have one of these, and you have something that hasn't happened yet, you have to use the subjunctive. Okay, so if you have something related to the future, and you have one of these conjunctions of time, you have to use the subjunctive. There's another one that's aunque, and aunque can mean two different things. It can mean even though, or it can also mean even if. If you are trying to say even though, you are not going to use a subjunctive. So like, even though I have two cats, I want another one, right? You're not going to use a subjunctive. If you're trying to say even if, then you are going to use a subjunctive. So like, even if I had 10 cats, I would still want to get another cat. If you're using even if, you do use a subjunctive, versus even though, you do not use a subjunctive. Okay. We're going to do a little bit of practice. Ojalá que tengamos una tormenta para que no something classes. So hopefully we have a storm so that there are no classes. Para que is a conjunction of uncertainty, which means that you always use a subjunctive no matter what. So it doesn't matter the rest of the sentence. Para que means we have to use subjunctive. So subjunctive of haber is going to be haya. Not to be confused with, vamos a reunirnos para organizar una fiesta de sorpresa. So we are going to get together in order to organize a surprise party. This just has para, no para que. So after para, which is just a regular preposition, you never conjugate your verbs. So it's just going to be organizar. Okay, voy a ir al cine tan pronto como finish studying. So I'm going to go to the movies as soon as I finish studying. So as soon as, tan pronto como, is a conjunction of time. So if I have something that has not happened yet, and one of these conjunctions, I have to use a subjunctive. So voy a ir means I'm going to go to the movies, which means I have not gone to the movies yet, so I do use a subjunctive. Voy a ir al cine tan pronto como subjunctive termine de estudiar. Versus siempre voy al cine cuando tiempo. So I always go to the movies when I have time. I have a conjunction of time, but I do not have something that hasn't happened yet. This is something that happens all the time. Therefore, it's not subjunctive because it's not something that hasn't happened yet. So it's just going to be the regular indicative, or just the regular form of the verb, not in the subjunctive. I always go to the movies when I have time. Okay, with aunque. Remember, aunque can mean two things. It can mean even though, or it can mean even if. So, aunque yo ver, estoy jugando a fútbol. So, I am playing soccer. Does it make more sense to say even if it's raining, I'm playing soccer, or even though it's raining, I'm playing soccer? Because we already know that I am playing soccer, it makes more sense to say even though it's raining. So, even though we do not use a subjunctive, even though it's raining, I'm still playing football, or I'm still playing soccer. So, it's going to be the regular indicative conjugation, not subjunctive, and it's a stem changer. Aunque llueve, even though it's raining, I'm still playing soccer. Versus, aunque, and then nevar is to snow, quiero jugar al fútbol. So I want to play soccer. So I'm not playing soccer yet. So would it make more sense to say even though it's snowing or even if it snows? Here, it would make more sense to say even if it snows, I want to play soccer. Therefore, since I'm saying even if, I do use a subjunctive, which is a stem changer. So even if it snows, I still want to play soccer. Okay, quiero traerle pastel sin que la maestra lo saber. I want to bring a dessert or a cake without the teacher knowing it. So sin que is a conjunction of uncertainty, and I always use the subjunctive with these no matter what, which means I have to use the subjunctive for saber, which is sepa. I want to bring a cake without the professor knowing it or without the teacher knowing it. Versus, fui a la tienda en cuanto something al dinero. En cuanto is a conjunction of time. And remember, in order to use the subjunctive, you have to have a conjunction of time and something that has not happened yet. So, fui a la tienda means I went to the store, and then en cuanto is as soon as I received the money. So it is not something that hasn't happened yet. It's something that already happened. I went to the store as soon as I got the money. So it's not going to be subjunctive. It's just the regular indicative. But here it's not the present tense, it's the past tense. Because I went to the store as soon as I received the money. So I would need the past tense for recibir, which would be recibí, con acento. I went to the store as soon as I received the money. We don't have something that hasn't happened yet, therefore we don't use the subjunctive. Okay, 9. Quiero que tú. Quiero que obviously is a subjunctive trigger with will. So you have to use a subjunctive no matter what. So quiero que tú vengas a mi fiesta a menos que tú no querer. So I want you to come to my party. A menos que is a conjunction of uncertainty. So it's one of the escapa conjunctions, which means we always use a subjunctive no matter what. So tú quieras. I want you to come to my party unless you don't want to. So remember, with these ones, always use the subjunctive no matter what. With these ones, only use the subjunctive when you have one of these conjunctions and something that has not happened yet. Thank you.